Hey everyone, welcome back to the channel, and in today's Ferocious Cup deep dive, we will be going over Suicune, so stay tuned. Alright, so Suicune. Suicune is a Pokemon that we got during raids several times, as well as in the research box, which is the one you're going to be able to use here. In fact, you'll only be able to use the research box Suicunes. So Suicune is a water type. It only has one typing, the same as Umbreon, which is, you know, a positive and a negative, and I think in this case it's a positive. When you have a single typing, it means that you have less things that are super effective against you, so you really minimize the chances of running into something that is going to absolutely burn you. And in the case where you aren't getting super effective damaged, the bulkier Pokemon with the better movesets are going to win those matches. So that's why Suicune is so good here. Suicune, very bulky, has a super high defense and a pretty high HP stat as well. Let's go over the moveset that your Suicune is going to have. So I recommend that it goes with Snarl, super high energy gain. Snarl is a dark type move. In this cup, not many things are resisting dark type. And it's going to be super effective against Psychic and Ghost. Not sure that's going to play that much into this as well, or either. And the moves, so it can actually have Hidden Power as a fast attack, which means it can have any of those Hidden Power typings, which is any type in the game. I don't think those are usually good anyways in PvP, but if you are trying to do something like be super effective against a very specific type of typing, then you can try that out. But you cannot change a hidden power from one hidden power to another, and I'm not too sure, but I don't know if you can... Okay, you can TM to get that same hidden power back, but you'll never get a new hidden power. Whatever hidden power is on that Pokemon is the one it will get if you TM it multiple times. It doesn't matter. So Snarl's the safest bet. And then for the charge attacks, Bubble Beam is really good as a more baity move. So it is quick to get to, or much quicker than Hydro Pump, and you can use that as a bait for shield baiting. Water type moves are good against ground and fire, and Suicune also has the move Hydro Pump. So Hydro Pump, you know, the staple of water typing is Hydro Pump, but yeah, obviously. So what I'm trying to say here is that Hydro Pump is a super high damage move. It will cost a lot of energy to get to, but it does hit a lot of the meta, or a lot of Pokemon in general, for a ton of damage, even if it's a neutral. And if it's super effective, it's absolutely going to one-shot anything. So in the case of Suicune being your late-game threat, it is very good, as it just needs to get to the Hydro Pump. If shields are down, it's absolutely going to destroy any Pokemon. So 100% PvP IV is 115-14, which would give you level 19, but that is a little disingenuous, because in order to get that PvP IV of 115-14, it means you would have had to trade with someone, a Suicune that you're a 1-star friend with, so that's a ton of Stardust per trade, as well as you're for some reason not trying to gain friendship with that person, so you're always at level 1. If you're trying to trade over and over, it doesn't really make a lot of sense. Let's just say the odds are not in your favor of having this PvP IV. Your odds are more likely that you got it from a research box, which would put you at level 15, and it would be sorry, it's just pulling it up. The best IV from the research breakthrough box is going to be 11, 14, 15. So Suicune being a single typing of water, it's going to be resisting water, which water resists itself. It's going to resist steel, ice, and fire as well. And it's going to be weak to grass and electric. So this is what I was talking about earlier. It has less weaknesses because it's single typing. So it only has weaknesses to the grass and electric. They're the only things that are going to be doing super effective damage to Suicune. So a little bit about Suicune. Like I said before, very high defense, pretty high HP stat. It's single typing limits vulnerability, and Bubble Beam is a newish type move. Came in the last big move update, and it lowers your attack stat of the opponent by 1 stage. 100% chance to do this, so that's pretty good. I see I misspelled lower there. And the notable losses are going to be against what you would think electric types. It's going to lose against Raikou, Raichu, Minun, Alolan Raticate, and Lickitung. In the 0 and 1 shield, it's going to lose to Lickitung, but it does beat it in the 2 shield. And then the notable wins, it's going to beat Torkoal, Donphan, Granbull, Nidoking, Nidoqueen, and Alolan Marowak. So let's go into some of the specific shielding scenarios against some of these Pokemon. These are basically Pokemon in the top 15-ish that you may run into, especially early here when no meta has been set day 1. And in the 0 shield scenario, you're going to beat, you saw some of these already in the winning lineups, Torkoal, Granbull, Donphan, Larion, Piloswine, and Alolan Marowak. Is that guy's name Piloswine? I think it is. For these, like I said, with Hydro Pump, it's just going to nuke these. So in a shields down scenario, no shields, Hydro Pump's you're going to want to just go straight to the Hydro Pump, hit it, boom, these Pokemon are down. So in the 1 shielding scenario, you're going to have some of the same ones, but some actual different hard hitters. So let's go Torkoal, Granbull, Donphan, Larion. Those 4 right there, you can go straight Hydro Pump. They'll shield once, and the second Hydro Pump will take them out. And then in the Umbreon and Vaporeon matchup in the 1 shield, you do have to get a bait in with Bubble Beam. So those are going to be, you can win them, but you're going to have to bait it. And they don't have to bait anything because their moves are much quicker. Actually, I think, well, okay, so Umbreon, you don't have to bait anything. You can just go straight Foul Play the entire time, and you'll take out the Suicune as long as you shield the Hydro Pump. And then I believe the Vaporeon matchup I'm not as familiar with, but I'm sure you have to bait with an Aqua Tail and then hit with several Last Resorts. But I bet it's pretty close that you might be able to Last Resort the entire way. And then with the Nidoking and Nidoqueen matchup, you also have to bait with a Bubble Beam, but what's different in this matchup, in these 2 matchups versus the other 2 Eevee matchups or Evolution matchups, is that they can't beat you unless they also get a bait off with the Earth Power and then hit you with an Earthquake. So the matchup versus them is going to be very difficult, and a lot of things playing through, a lot of shield baiting on both sides. Whoever gets the shield bait off is going to win that 1 shield matchup. So the same thing of those Pokemon that I have asterisked here that are in the 2 shield scenario is going to be the same. It's going to be a lot of baiting on your side. And then for the Nidoking and Nidoqueen in the 2 shield, they're also going to have to bait you 2 times with the Earth Power. The thing that so what's interesting here is that the Earth Power has a 35% chance, I believe, to lower your defense. Is it defense or attack? I think it's defense. And then the Bubble Beam has a 100% chance to lower their attack. So you'll, even if you bait with the 2 Bubble Beams, you'll be able to get off the lowering the attack twice. And then for the Alolan Marowak matchup, It's the same as the ones that you're taking on now. You're not going to want to get hit by a Shadow Ball. Shadow Ball is just so strong. And Alolan Marowak has stab on that Shadow Ball. And he's going to be hitting you with a ton of baits from the Bone Club, which isn't going to do any damage to us, but, you know, it's going to be able to bait you if that's what he's going for. You also beat the Alolan Sandslash just straight up, and then you also beat the Torkoal straight up. So that's Suicune in a nutshell. It's going to be really interesting. Suicune really buffed up from the latest patch because it got that Snarl, does a lot more energy gain, and it has a new faster energy charge attack in Bubble Beam, so it can actually do some baits and stuff. So this is one of the first, I believe it's one of the first legendaries that has a baity type move. I know in the past in Jungle Cup we saw Raikou, but there were really no baits on that. You either went Wild Charge or Shadow Ball. Both were the same energy, I believe, of 50 energy. So those are just two hard-hitting moves, whereas now we're going to see Suicune. And I remember when Suicune came out and everyone was talking about how bad it was, and even I was saying how bad it was, but with all of these extra buffs, the fact that it is the bulkiest of the dogs, of the legendary dogs, makes it so good for PvP. You know how bulk is always one of the best things in PvP, and then the movesets just add upon it. So I don't want to keep repeating myself, but go ahead and subscribe to this channel if you want the next deep dive for the Ferocious Cup. And if I messed anything up, including the spelling of words, go ahead and let me know. And we'll see you in the next one.